A unique hierarchy among representatives of the criminal world was formed in the countries of the former USSR and still exists and develops. It has no analogues in any other country. At its core are the lawmen, thieves in the law, thieves who are considered the elite of the criminal world and have considerable authority, extending even to many other countries. Such a concept as thief in law first appeared back in the 1930s. How exactly appeared thieves in law? There are many opinions, among which there is even one that suggests the creation of the elite of the underworld by the special services of the USSR in those years. This institution, if it can be called so, was characterized by the presence of thieves' law, a rigid code of rules, concepts. Naturally, for the uninitiated, everything was secret. If we compare it with similar criminal communities of the world, the thieves in law have no leadership or a clear nucleus, no departments. All thieves in the law are equal before themselves, all within the framework of Blatnoy concepts and traditions. The main governing body is the so-called gathering, which is responsible for various organizational decisions. Popular among such decisions are Malava, Progoni, Kesivi. Written appeals to the criminal world. Thieves try to keep the prisons under control. Also, among the functions of a community of thieves are to unite groups of criminals or individual members, resolve conflicts among criminals, and control certain areas of criminal activity. Thieves also control the dormitories, criminal coffers, and maintain international ties. Lawmen are not a single group, although there is a constant battle for supremacy among them. They are also divided by many characteristics: red, black, Caucasians, Slavs, spades, diamonds, etc. In general, it is the thieves in law in the countries of the former Soviet Union are the coordinating body of the criminal world, which ensures the stability of the entire system. Criminal authorities. Officially, a criminal authority is a person who is the leader of a criminal organization. Most often, it is a person who enjoys a certain respect in the criminal environment. This can be a pachan and a thief in law, and just an ordinary criminal who has achieved respect. Naturally, the level of authority and influence is different for everyone. For example, thieves in the law can influence the whole country and far beyond, while just a respected jailer can influence the members of his cell. How and who crowns a thief in law? The whole procedure is not fully known to ordinary people. And naturally, it causes from the side of the common man only additional interest. Criminals can do it secretly. The fact is that if everything was known, then, of course, many would already be thieves in law, and the status has lost value. The criminal world is not noted for its talkativeness, and all that reaches us are rumors. Since the 1930s, the coronation process has changed very little. But if earlier the coronation was held only in prison, now it can be done in the wild. In total, there are several varieties of thieves in the law. The first are real thieves, who are crowned according to all the rules and all the concepts. The second are oranges, laurushniki, as they are also called, that is, those people who simply acquired their status for a huge amount of money. Serious criminals do not take such people seriously. Usually a thief can pass the coronation if he has a mentor who has great weight in the criminal world. It should also be said that oranges are rarely called to gatherings, and most often only after they really have weight in the criminal world. And even then, they are unlikely to have an equal voice with real thieves. The peak of oranges came in the 90s and early 2000s. This is understandable. There were many new criminals who urgently needed to become thieves in law, as they were able to squeeze the money, but they could not earn proper respect among criminals. It happens that an ordinary person buys such a status, and he happily uses it for a couple of hours. Afterwards, he is raskoronovatelnoy, that is, deprived of the status. Naturally, the money is not refundable. What is interesting is that many, even very reputable thieves, do not want to become owners of this status. The fact is that everything here is very serious, and there are a lot of responsibilities. Even if you have committed a small misdemeanor on the part of the concepts, you will answer at the meeting. And they sometimes answer up to death. As a rule, real thieves have appropriate tattoos. According to them on the zone, knowledgeable blatni can immediately understand who is in front of them. Common tattoos of thieves in the law are the so-called rings located on the hands. It can also be crosses, epaulettes, stars on the knees and shoulders. If another person hits himself with these tattoos, he can be seriously punished and even killed. By the way, in Russia there is even a special article concerning thieves in the law. It says that a person who occupies the highest step in the criminal hierarchy is punishable by up to 15 years in prison. This is very harsh, because according to the concepts, thieves are not allowed to give up their status. That is, if a thief in law answers negatively to a policeman's question, he will lose his status, and if he confirms his position, he will be punished. The Georgian legal system has a similar situation. Coronation and uncrowning are handled exclusively by the thieves' congregation. They can be crowned for different things. For example, if you steal from the common fund, you are crowned. Most often permanently, i.e., killed. In general, those who seriously violate thieves' notions are subject to this procedure. Coronation must necessarily take place in the presence of thieves in the law. What words, symbols, and anything else they use for this purpose can be a matter of purely individual. How one becomes an authority. For some reason, many people believe that the only authority in prison is the thief in law. That is far from true. Absolutely in any prison, there are supervisors and officials. There are supervisors in almost every cell, barracks. An official is a person who already has a great authority, as well as someone who has been convicted under the so-called correct articles. For example, a drug addict, rapist, etc. can never become a prisoner. They also keep in touch with thieves who are on the outside. They must live according to the concepts and not violate them. Otherwise, they can be punished and deprived of their status. Only strong, intelligent people gain respect and authority in prisons. For example, if you are a dumb jock, if you offend other convicts, although this is fraught with punishment and not from the administration, etc., you will never be respected, and you will never get authority. They also do not like those who solve conflicts with their fists. Such people do not get authority either. And moreover, such people most often later become devils and lowered. Authority in prison helps to solve many issues, not only with the prisoners, but also with the administration. The latter realize who you are and that you can influence other prisoners and solve conflicts. Such people are valued everywhere. They also do not like lazy people who constantly spend time on the bunk. Is it possible to have any business with such a person? What can he solve? All of the above, by the way, works on the outside. If you are a normal person in the wild, then in prison you will be easy and do not need to teach which chair to choose when you get to places not so remote. In prison, in the army, and any closed spaces where many people gather for a long time, a person very quickly reveals his essence and everything, and everyone becomes clear about him. So, if you are respected on the outside, you are a fair, not rotten person. You will have authority in prison. If you want, there is a place for such people in the criminal world as well, and they even advance in their career.